So today I just going to start about the collection in Java. Collection is used to handle the data. Okay. Collection framework is added in Java 8 and 9. And what does this collection is use? It is used to manipulate the data, access the data, modify the data, delete the data. Okay. So with the help of this, we can manipulate the data, add the data also. So there are different kind of a collection we have. Okay, you can just think collection is just like a bucket. Okay, just think it is like a bucket where you are going to add the data, you can remove the data, you can delete the data, you can make it empty, right? Anything you can do it. But there is some different kind of collections are there. Based on that collection we usually work. There are different kind of collections are like a list are similar to the array. Okay, link list are there, you might have heard link list also. Set. Okay, map, right? So different kind of collections are there. Means it's just says you like how you can modify the data, how you can access the data, and each collection will have some unique features. For example, let me talk about the set. As the first code is open about my hash set are like a hash set. Okay, so what this set is a collection of an element. And what is the unique things in this, that set do not allow duplicate element, and set do not maintain any order. Okay, so if you want to use any collection or any storage where you want to save a data and access the data, where it should not add any duplicate element or where it should not follow any order. Okay, there we use set. So set is what, where they do not follow any order, so it is unordered, and it do not allow duplicate element. Okay, so this is the understanding of this. So in the hash set means what, in this hash set you will going to save an element which we do not follow any order. It will be unsequenced, and it will be not in a repetition. So let me rub this and show you. So what will be the structure of program? The structure of program means you will going to declare a class, you will going to declare a method. Not necessary to have a public all the time. Okay, you can ignore also. Public you need when you are using this class. Outside of that means, suppose if you are using class A in class B, I will going to start inheritance from Tuesday onward, sorry, from Monday onward. So on that time it will be more clear. At that time, when I wanted to use the class, for example, public A extend. Sorry. So here it will give me an error if I do it right now. This is a same thing, but if it is not a public and you wanted to access here in this code, sorry, if I wanted to access class A in this B, I will get an error. Right now, the error is not getting because I'm not using any function of this class. But when I wanted to inherit it, at that time it will give an error. That I will going to show you everything in the next session. But today our focus is on the collection, how this collection is used. So syntax is hash set. What type of element they are saving, you have to pass here in the angular bracket. This is user defined name. You are just giving the name to your set, just like we give a name to our object. New keyword and again hash set. Okay, syntax is very easy. Hash set, the type of an element that you wanted to save. Okay, new keyword, and then again hash set. Then with this add function, you can see when you will type the variable name, what is the variable name has set, you put a dot. Okay, you will get a several option here. add collection, clear. Let me add a clear function. So I'm adding a clear function here. Okay. Now, when I will going to and now what will be the next step? My next step will be adding an element. So if you want to add an element, you use the add function. This clear function will going to clear all the content of this set. You will going how you will going to print that? Just call this variable has set. If you want to check whether your set is empty or what, you can check it also. Has set is empty. Where this is work in a boolean way, it will going to return true. If you remember, in my early classes I've explained you is empty, and one more functions I have there is blank. Something was there, is empty or is blank. So I've explained you that it works in a boolean way. It will going to print true and false. Okay. And if you wanted to remove any element, just write has set, the name of a set that you have created, remove. So what is an advantage of using it? If you are aware about the array, in array, adding an element and removing an element is very complex. In array, adding an element or removing an element is a complex, because you have to not only remove an element, but you have to take the element, you have to remove that space in between them. For example, like suppose here in an array, suppose if I save an element like this, Amit, okay, A is my at index 0, M is at index 1, I is at index 2, and T is at index 3. Okay. Now, if I wanted to remove I, so now not only removing an I will do, I need to just shift this T ahead also and remove this index also, right? So lot of complexity are there when you work in array, but in collection, you can simply remove an element. You don't need to maintain any index. Your set will going to take care. Okay. So like this, that's the reason we use collection, and it is added in a Java, because Java wanted to remove the complexity from the code. So they have added this. So when you will going to run this, let me show you. When I will going to run this, it will not going to show you in the order. Let me run. So just so you can see here, because of having clear, it is not coming anything. Let me comment this, because this function will going to clear the content. Now I'm running again. Now you can see here what I've added here. See, red, green, black, white, pink, yellow. But what is coming? Red, white. White is added at the fourth, but it is coming before. Pink is coming later, but it is coming before. Yellow and black and green, right? So from this you got an idea like they do not follow any order. Let me add one more thing. They might ask you the question based on this function, add and all. This is similar to that string also. Is red is coming twice? No, right? You can see this. I am printing original has set. I am calling this variable. Is red is coming twice? No, right? That's the reason we use set. Set is used where we do not follow, means where we do not want a duplicate element, and we do not bother about the sequence of an element. And how you going to check it? That whether it is empty or blank, with is empty function, it is going to return false, because it doesn't having an element. But if I remove this, okay, and I will run this, now you see this, it is true, right? Why it is true? Because this function clear will going to clear the content. Okay. And now after clearing the content, this has become true. But you can check it. If I if comment this, it will show here false, because in that case it won't be clear. See here, you can remove the name also. With the help of content, you can remove it. Has set dot remove function, and you can remove it. Am I clear to everyone how this has set function works? Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
Good. So this the syntax is has set, the type of data that you wanted to add, the name of a variable new. I will going to upload this in a GitHub. Okay, you can download and practice from there. You can easily download it. All the code I will going to share you in the Trello. I will update you. I will update today your quiz, the code GitHub link, and last two lectures. All the thing I will upload in the night, so you can have with you. Okay, next thing is what another type of see, this is another example. Now suppose, okay, in the set only, if you want to find it out, if you want to convert your set, if you want to convert your set into array, how do you do that? It's very simple. Till here you might be aware. You just write string new array, new string. In that string you pass the size of an array. How we declare a normally an array? Normally we declare an array. I told you, right? There are two way of declaring an array with the new keyword. So you are creating an array of a string type, and this new string you are passing the size, means how many element will going to save in an array, and simply you convert it with this to array function. This to array function will going to convert it into the array, and you will going to print that. Let me run and show you, and then I will explain you. So you can see here, original hash set is this one. After converting into the array, it is printing red, white, pink, yellow, black, green. Okay, let me add, see whether it is taking twice or what. It is not taking it because the reason is that the hash set will going to pass the size here only, um, 6 only, because of repeating element, and that's the reason while converting it won't be print a repeating element. So what is a, remember the conversion, uh, means in the exam they won't ask you in a deep, but they might ask you the function. So you should be aware about it. Dot add function, dot to array function, and what does set do. If they give you an example, four option, 1 2 3 4, or they give you an example 1 1 2 3 4, which one will be set? You have to select that option where repeating element are not there, that do not follow any order, right? So how you are going to convert a set into array? String data type, name of an array, new string, size of a your hash set. How you find it out the size of hash set? With dot size function. Okay, once you are get this thing, you can convert your set into array. And how you're going to convert that? With this to array function. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, it means it's not a difficult. You can when you have a code with you, when I will share with you, you can run it and you can easily understand. Okay, and once you are converted, you just need to run the for loop to print that. And I told you, right, there is a different way of running the for loop last time. How it is that for string element is to new array, means this element is a temporary variable which will going to initialize based on the content of a new array. Whatever the new array will have will be initialized to this element, and you are going to print that. Just have a look on this code once and ask me if you are unable to understand anything. Do you have any doubt? Then please ask. Is it clear to everyone? Anushka, Ambigeshwari, it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can anyone then explain me this for loop? Yeah, can anyone explain this for loop? I'm not checking you. I'm just telling you how you represent it, that I wanted to check. Means how you going to represent it. Just try once, don't hesitate. It's like just it's it will help you to build confident. Just try once, any one of you, how this for loop will going to interpret, how this for loop will work.
Bro, here we are taking the element variable as a temporary variable
Hmm.
and we are assigning it to new array.
Hmm.
And the for loop is going to interpret each and every characters in that array. So here, sorry, strings in that array. So here we are having red, green, black, white, etc. And
Hmm.
that is going to be printed in the linear order.
Correct. So this for loop will run based on the number of element this new array will have. So this element temporary variable will going to initialize uh, based on the number of element. So this will going to run equivalently based on the number of element. Good. Yeah.
Bro, I have a doubt here.
Yeah, please. Yes.
In the for loop, what will be happen if you are giving that H set instead of new array?
Hmm. New array. Okay.
Here we are giving H set, and then what will be the result?
Yeah, it will work. Means you just need to pass the element. It will work, right? Here I'm passing a hash set. Hash set means what? Hash set is already having an element. How many element they have? Almost 6 elements. So it will going to print that. But why it is showing like this? Because I am printing array element. So here it is not printing array element now. Here it is printing hash set content. But before that it is printing this as a array element. Are you getting right? This element is already having this element, right? Yellow also have declared 6 times, but you can see when I'm running on this hash set, it is taking only 6 element, right? So this is here you are printing content of hash set, but in order to print content of new array, you have to pass this new array. You can pass anything there, but it should have a value, set of value, then only it will going to assign to this temporary variable, and this will going to run. This is the easiest for loop, because the thing is that now you don't have a time in a company when you work. We don't have a that much complexity. We don't need to make thing complex by adding initialization, condition, increment. So nowadays everyone they are using this, and with the help of this now everyone is using Python, right? So when they are using Python in their coding style, they are using such syntax, because Python doesn't having any increment, condition checking in the for loop.
Okay, bro. Can we use this element variable outside of the for loop?
How you going to use this element variable outside of the for loop?
If you are giving system.print.out printer and giving element outside the for loop, it will give only the green, right, bro?
No, but it is a temporary variable. It's only exists within this loop. If you take it outside, then how it will going to read that?
Yes, bro. At that time, shall we declare the same variable at the top of the program,
No,
whether
it
it works with the for
no
loop?
it no it won't work, because this is a temporary variable whose existence is within this for loop only. This is not a permanent element that you exist on your code. It's a temporary which you are running it just for initialization. If you use already initialize element, then while running, how it will initialize again with the content of the hash set? If you are outside, if you initialize a green to this element and you will try to run it here, how it will going to overlap the value? First of all, it will unable to find it out. Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, bro.
I am
No, bro.
saying,
What I'm asking is, can we declare the element string, sorry, string element in the top itself, and we can use it inside the for loop, or whether we need only to declare the element inside the for loop?
okay, Yeah, okay. I got your point. Now you see this, and what error you are getting, that also I am showing you. See, occurrence of element cannot resolve to the type, syntax error, everything is coming because this is a temporary element and it is having scope within this parenthesis only. Even if you declare outside, how it will be identified? See, it is saying create a loop variable element. When you click on this, it will creating inside this. Am I clear to you? Even if you declare outside, it won't be identified here because this is a temporary variable. Their existence within this parenthesis only.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can compare collection also. How you can compare the collection? Suppose you declare two has set. Okay, you have added an element in that and you wanted to compare those. How you can compare it? You can compare it by adding another result set. In that also you do like this. For string element has set is what? The element of this. Then you can compare it has set to dot contain element, and with this ternary operator yes and no. Let me run this and show you first. See, what I did here, I created one set, I read an element, I created another set, another variable, I read an element. Let me take it one, then it will be more clear. Okay, so there are two set I have created. Now I wanted to compare whether the first element is matching with the first element, whether the second element is matching with the second element, third element is matching with the third element. How you're going to compare that? In order to compare that, how you're going to write down? You create a new set, then you create a temporary diffs for loop. String element has set 1, which will going to iterate over the element of has set 1, and there is a function has set 2 dot contain. Dot contain is a function which is going to check is the content of an element that you are reading from this has set 1, is it equal to has set 2? If it's yes, then it will going to print yes, otherwise no. If you remember ternary operator, I told you, ternary operator means what? If this condition is true, then this immediate one will execute, otherwise this one will going to execute. If this condition is true, this will going to execute. If this condition is false, then flow will go back to the rightmost. So here red and red equal, that's why it is yes. Green and pink, no, right? Both are not equal. Black and black equal, so it is printing yes. White and orange not equal, it is printing no. Now are you getting how it is working? It's very simple. We create two set, we add an element in that, we create third set, result set, and we are just reading the element from the one set and we are checking with the content of another set. So I return has set 2 dot contain element. This is my temporary variable which will initialize with the has set 1 element, and it will going to print yes and no. If the content of has set 2 will belong to yes, it will going to means if the has set 2 content equal to has set 1, it will going to print yes, otherwise no. Is it clear?
Yes, bro.
Okay. Others, are you clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what is a list? This list is similar to the array where the elements are saved in a sequence. Okay. the how you're going to create the list. Just like a headset, write down the list. It's a list. Okay, list means where element are saved in a sequence, and list allow your duplicate element, and list follow some sequence. Okay, they are not unordered, but list allow the duplicate element also. Okay, if anything is not clear, you can just put the cursor over that and you can read it. Just read once what is written here, so you will understand what actually the list do. It's an order collection. It's an interface and having a precise control of an insertion of element. User can access an element by the integer index. So we can access the element with the help of index. We can search an element based on the index. Okay, and unlike set, list is allowed duplicate element. They follow an order. Okay, we can check the element e1 e1 equals e2 also. Okay, where e1 and e2 are the element of two list, and we can check it also, right? So list is having more flexible as compared to set in term of adding an element, accessing an element. Set is used when you do not want any duplicate element, and you do not bother for ordering. List is used when you do not bother for or when you can say like list is used when you need an order data, and duplicate element also. So this is called as a list. How you're going to declare that this list is an array list only? Okay, this list is an array list. You can use list also here. I told you earlier, right? Array list, it is similar to the list. Okay, so here the function will be same. To add an element, it is of a string type, right? So that's why I'm adding this is a good program like that. Now once you are adding a list, you wanted to convert to the array, so you can do that. If you don't want to convert into array, you can print it also like this. So here what I did, after adding an element into the list, I'm just converting into the array. List is nothing but just a sequence, means your element will be in a sequence. Like this is a good program, it will be in a sequence. So you wanted to convert it into the more um, you can say, let me write down. Let me run and show you. So you can see here you are converting your list. Okay, whatever variable here, you see why I use list here, because list is a variable which is my array list, where I added an element. I am converting with the help in the array with the help of two array function. Once you are done with the conversion, once you are done with the conversion, here I am passing list dot size. Why I am passing list dot size? So that this array will take an index based on the size of my list, and this will going to run. So there are two ways. You can either use size or you can use length. Length function is used to find it out the number of element added. Okay, size is used to find it out the what is the size of your list that you declare previously or later on. Length and size both are having different representation. Size is just to find it out the number of indexes you have, whether you have added element or not. That is the another thing. Length function is used to find it out how many element you have added. So based on this for loop I am running it. If you want, you can remove this also. You can write this for loop also. Yes, can we use size for string function? Yes, size means here it is counting the number of element in the list in the string. Size is not counting anything. Size is just counting the number of element that you have present in the list. So you can use it with the string function. Am I clear?
Bro, what I'm asking is not about an array or a list. I'm just asking about just a string. If you are declaring an element with the string data type, can we use it?
We can use the size function. Okay, 1 minute. You ask me size. See it if you wanted to yeah, in the string function, if you wanted to check the um no size function, you can't use it with the string. You can use a length function there.
But we can use the length, right, bro?
Yeah, length function you can use it. Size function will use in term of array, where
Okay.
you wanted to check number of indexes. Okay, like
Okay.
size will only give you the index. For example, array. Okay, if I take your name Narayan, so how many digit you have, sorry, how many character you have in your name? For example,
6.
6. Okay, so what will be the last index according to array? 5,
5.
right? Yeah, so what will be the size of a array now here? What is the size?
5.
Correct, right? But size will always be -1, right? Length is what here? 6.
6.
Length will give you what? Number of element you have. Size will give you what will be the last index you have. So here list dot size will give me the index, what is the last index. So based on that I can add an element. But length function is in term of content, in term of content present in a array. And size function will give you index, last index, or you can say uh, size of array, not in term of data. Length will be in term of data. So this is the difference between these two. And you can write it down like this also: size uh, any L. So see, both are, now you can compare these two. Which one is easy? You can see after comparing these two, which one is easy? First one or second one? I use L as a temporary variable. List I use, which is holding the element, that is this one. This list is holding how many element? 5 element. What will be the size of this list? The last index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be my last index, because starting from 0. Okay, so size will be 4. But if I say s1 dot length will be how many element I have added. Okay, so it can be varies also, right? So based on this you can compare these two. And as I said, Java reduce complexity, so this is more easier to work. So guys, hope you are aware about this, means sorry, clear about this collection. There are map and all, we are left map and linked list, that I will cover in the next session, as we have only 2 minutes left. So if you have any question, you can ask. If anything is not clear regarding function, for loop, understanding of the code, you can ask me. I will going to share all this 4 code in the GitHub, and the link with that last 2 lecture link, I will update it. Have you any question? Do you have? Okay. Other, Ambigeshwari, Anushka.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Great. So just have a look on this, practice on the weekend, and we will connect on Monday. So let me know if you have any doubt. Otherwise, we will going to start inheritance part, how to understand the code and all. Okay. So
Okay, bro.
yeah, okay. So bye everyone. Take care, and please share your queries in the Trello. If anyone having any doubt, feel free to share. Okay. Okay, yeah. Bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye bro, take it.
Yeah, bye.